And Mark Carney says he knows he's not the only Liberal who thinks the Prime Minister and his team let their attention wander from the economy. Carney launched his Liberal leadership bid in Edmonton, where he grew up and played hockey. The former Bank of Canada governor told supporters political and economic systems aren't working as they should, and Canadians are struggling. He also criticized both Pierre Poilievre and the far left.
We can't achieve our full potential with the ideas of the far left. They too often see government as the solution to every problem, with a reflex to spend and subsidize that just treats the symptoms of the problems, but doesn't cure the disease. We can't redistribute what we don't have, and we can't support the vulnerable in our society or defend this great country if we have a weak economy.
Liberal strategist Andrew Perez joined us to unpack Mr. Carney's announcement.
I think it was an interesting speech. I think Carney is really trying to build support in the center of the political spectrum, openly acknowledging in this launch speech that the Liberals have drifted too much to the left. They haven't focused enough on economic growth. And I think that really speaks to a broad cross-section of Canadians, especially young people, that aren't able to get into the housing market, aren't able to secure oftentimes permanent employment. And polling has been very consistent that the young demographic has actually shifted to the Conservative Party, which is unprecedented when you look at polling trends in this country. And so I think Carney is trying to go for that radical center. And he even alluded to the radical left in that speech. So I think that was very interesting. Some have speculated that Carney is the early front runner in this race. I think it's premature to say that. Freeland will launch her leadership bid on Sunday. She's already got about 20 members of parliament lined up behind her. Members of parliament from the business wing of the party, from the more socially progressive wing of the party. I don't expect that you'll see major ideological cleavages or differences between these two candidates. I expect that both of them will tack to the center. You've already seen Freeland tease out that she'll be promising to scrap the consumer carbon tax. And you've heard Carney on several occasions in recent weeks speak about the affordability crisis, speak about how the consumer carbon tax might not be the best option moving forward, but that we need to replace it with something, with a program that can fight climate change. And so I also know that there are reports that suggest that Carney, as part of his leadership campaign, will be running on a major middle-income tax cut. So we'll see how this shapes up. I think these are the two major contenders, Carney and Freeland, and I suspect absent ideological differences, this is going to come down to rough and tumble politics, signing up members, having a cross-country organization. And I think both of them will really focus on the question of leadership. Who has the experience and the CV to come into power at this very precarious time in our history, to go toe-to-toe with the Trump administration, to really fight and protect Canadian jobs, and who would perhaps provide a better contrast to the Poilievre Conservatives. And so that's what I expect this leadership race to be about.